Good afternoon, everybody. Doug Jenkins with the Findlay Hancock County Chamber of Commerce. We are celebrating member anniversaries today. Dan's laughing because we just tried to do this like 5 minutes ago and none of the equipment wanted to work. So, Dan of Romick Wealth Strategies, LLC. Dan, thanks for joining us today. And thank you for wading through the technical difficulties with us.
Hey, thanks, Doug. Thanks for having me. There's always gremlins when it comes to technology, and I can appreciate your efforts and thank you for all that you guys do there at the Chamber.
Well, the Gremlins, we've kicked them out for now, at the very least. But we're here to celebrate your 5th year as a Chamber of Commerce member here at the Findlay Hancock County Chamber of Commerce. And it's been an interesting 5 years for you. You got off and running, started off in one office, outgrew that, grew into a new office in the glass block building, and continued to grow from there. So let's just kind of talk about your first 5 years in operation.
Well, Doug, I really appreciate it. And I think it has been a wild journey, a great journey, one that I wouldn't necessarily expect. I always talk with our team that we're just going to try to do good work and have fun while we're doing it as well. Like today, actually just got back to Findlay. We were down at our second office in Delphus, kind of doing a field trip for the team down there. They haven't been down to that office yet, even though I've had it for almost 4 years. Yeah, our team is doing great work. I think I always look at folks and they talk about like how who was on our team, and I said, man, I can't believe I hit a home run 2 times in a row with the folks that help support our clients and support me here in the office. But yeah, we started 5 years ago as a firm in March of 2021. I spent about 14 or 15 years in banking at a few different banks here in town. Learned a lot, made a lot of great friends, but at a certain point, it was just time to do our own thing. I started in one small office that kind of grew into 2 offices in that location. Initially here in Findlay, as I mentioned, then I quickly needed to add an office in the Delphus region. I have about 15% of our clients and families that we help and support live down in the Lima Delphus area. After a few years at our first location here in Findlay, we moved over into the glass block building, which there's not many buildings in downtown Findlay that have more historical significance than what this building does. And we absolutely love being a part of this community with inside our bigger, larger Hancock County and Findlay community here in the glass block. So things have been going great. We help about 300 families plan for their future when it comes to their finances. One really interesting relationship that I'm super thankful for that we have is also a relationship that we started a few years back with Hancock Federal Credit Union. There was one time they had thought about enhancing their investment platform, and a lot of them are really good friends of mine, and we were talking about things, and I said, here's how I would structure things. But ultimately what we decided was let's just come together and help take care of their members as well, have a good safe place that those members can come and have help with their financial planning. So ultimately, technically, we have 3 locations now. Our main hub, which is here in the glass block, we spend office hours over at Hancock Federal Credit Union. And then we have our 3rd location technically in the Delphus, Ohio community, which we are so thankful for all of that growth.
So I guess the most important follow-up question was lunch at the Rustic Cafe today then.
You know, I'm going to tell you, I thought about it. It's my favorite place. Actually, 2 weekends ago, the day before Mother's Day was my birthday. And my wife looked at me and she said, hey, where do you want to go for dinner? And I'm like, I don't know. It's prom night here in Findlay. And I'm like, that sounds kind of terrible to try to go out to eat somewhere locally in that case, because otherwise I'm either going to Ohlers or going, so many other places. And she's like, we can go out of town if you want. And I thought maybe we'd go to Perrysburg. And I thought, I looked at her, I'm like, you think we could go to the Rustic? And they'd never been before, but they went. My daughter that was with us, the other one was on her way back from Washington, D.C. But my 16-year-old that was with us, she looked at me afterwards and she said, Dad, I'm going to give that a good 8 out of 10. And I feel like that's a win.
True story. My wife and I went on our first date we were there on our first date at one point at the Rustic Cafe in Delphus there. So
that is a foundation.
It's good people.
Better relationship right there. I love it.
Dan, what made you want to start out on your own when you started this venture 5 years ago?
Yeah, I think a lot of changes have been happening in the industry and the business, and with larger corporations just continuing to get larger. And I felt like, man, families just really want us to be attentive to them and to their needs when it comes to their investment management and their financial planning. And as things continued to evolve and, former employers and things like that, I said, it's just time to put a stake in the ground and let's go serve our clients the way we want to serve our clients and, be told that, by our clients how they want to be served, not be told by, somebody in an office somewhere, this is how you have to do things. So we've really been able to get together, come around, build a good structure. We went very operations heavy in the beginning. I saw that in other organizations I worked at where you would have kind of more or less the salespeople or the front facing people that, those that succeeded the most had a great operations team. And I feel like with Annette and with Mallory here, that's what's helping us succeed and grow at almost 30% every year over the last 5 years, because we have such a strong operations team that is looking at other ways that they can help us as a firm care for our clients. And I think that's how we win. So I find my joy comes in the tactical conversations in a financial plan. And you know what? My major in college was small business and entrepreneurship. So I've always kind of had that itch to have my own business. Right out of college, I had a lawn care business that lasted until it was wintertime, and I realized I can't mow lawns during the winter. And then right. Then I got into finance. Actually, my first job after that was before getting into banking was at LaRich Chevrolet, working for John LaRich, and he was an incredible boss. Learned a lot from him. Every place that we've been able to go, if I can find somebody that I can learn something from, that's been an invaluable education. And now that we can take that and translate that over and how we care for our folks, it's just been a delight for me.
One of the things I've noticed since I've known you is that it's not just about the business for you. It's really about being plugged into the community and taking care of the people that you care about. And I think that was well represented in both ribbon cuttings we did for you with your first office and then your new location. How important is that as part of just your business identity? Is it's not just about, obviously you want to build wealth, but it's about taking care of the people around you.
Well, I think you're absolutely right. I think it's at the core of who we are. I feel like when we have been as blessed as we are to be in a small business situation that has been blessed to continue to grow like it is. So like I look at us as we are leaders in our communities. And I feel like Main Street, although we talk about Wall Street quite often, Main Street is more important than Wall Street. We need to use Wall Street in our industry to help us grow wealth for our clients and do things like that. With various things, but we got to be part of Main Street, and if we as Main Street continue to come together and support the initiatives and organizations and just our local community in a meaningful way, that continues to help move the ball forward for everybody. And I think that is something that we have to look at as leaders and stewards of where we live, where we work, and where we play, to quote your tagline.
Well, Dan, it's been an awesome 5 years for you. We look forward to the next 5. If people would want to have a conversation with you about maybe where they're at in their investment journey or what they're considering, things like that, what's the best way to get started?
Well, I'll tell you, first thing is don't ask me for a business card because I hardly ever carry them with me and I forget them all the time. Usually I just use them to tuck under a table somewhere to balance it out. And I think they're really good.
They are handy for that.
They are handy for that. I would say look us up on Facebook, LinkedIn. We have a website, www.romicwealth.com. But I think we're really easy to find. So just throw a Google search out there and you'll find us.
Well, Dan, we appreciate you being a member here for 5 years. We love the work you're doing in the community. Thanks for joining us this afternoon.
Thanks, Doug. Appreciate all you do.
And that will do it for us. Of course, we'll be celebrating new businesses and member anniversaries and everything all along our social media channels. So make sure you stay subscribed. For Dan, I'm Doug. Have a great afternoon, everybody.